step one of creating a calculator. Start Visual Studio. We're going to create a new project. Over here on the left is the recent project templates, and the first one of those is Windows Forms app. So we select that one, click Next. I'm going to call mine Calculator Jeff. You can call yours whatever. Make sure this says desktop still. If it doesn't say desktop, click the three dots, find desktop. It's usually near the top here. You can collect it there. Select folder, click create. Now the first part's fairly straightforward, fairly easy. We need to create a keyboard for our calculators. Okay, so we have buttons. You can just drag and drop new buttons. Notice there's a little blue dash there between the button one and the new button I'm laying down, and also notice that there is a blue line that tells you to line them up there. And then button, oops, drag out of place. Okay, now button. This one is going to be twice as wide horizontally, and then button, button, button. Now, out of all of these, you don't have to have it in this exact layout. You can adjust the sizes and shapes. This is just my simplest way. Now, starting with this button, the one that on my normal numeric keypad would be the numlock. I'm going to change that to clear. And I'm going to make this one the divide. Multiply. And by the way, if you are unfamiliar with programming, you may find that you'll see a lot of this where multiplication is represented by the asterisk so that it's not confused with the x for that could be used as a variable. As it turns out, I don't need this key. I want to make enter the biggest key and really the only key on the bottom right. Okay, so over here, this big key, it doesn't need to be this big. There's no reason why it has to be this big. It's up to you whether you even want it to be this big. But basically, all this is the 0 key. You could make 2 keys and make one a double 0, but that's up to you. This one is going to be, on my keyboard, the decimal key, but if you're not doing anything with decimals, you can omit that key altogether. Okay, so then I have the rest of these keys here, and for whatever reason I've made too many of them, so I can just go here. I guess I couldn't count while I was looking at the numeric keypad. That's why this key was the wrong size. Okay, so that should be roughly where that goes. And there. Okay. Now, you'll notice this form is way too big for this. You can grab the corner so that it points diagonally. You can see that on my screen there. At the moment I haven't let go. Okay, so we have 0, so obviously then this key needs to be number 1. This key needs to be number 2, and so forth as we go through these. And if you single click each of them, then you can go ahead and set the text for these. Oops. And sometimes you'll do something like this. Now, what I want you to do if you do something like this, in order to go back to thing and fix it, you're going to have to remove this button by hitting the delete key, and then go here, drag a checkbox in. Nope, not a checkbox. Again, grab a button and drag in. Okay, so now I have button 10. And I'll make that, let's see, that's the keyboard button 6. Press enter. Okay, to make things correspond and to make sense, first of all, on the one that was number 6, it was called button 10. I want to go back here, and you can see button 10 click is still there. I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to try doing a compile to make sure that we get a clean compile. We do, so that's good. And that's why I took the button out and then put it back in. Okay, so we've gone through and we've changed what's on the keys up here, but the actual keys are still named their original name. In this case, this one was button 1. Okay, so you need to go here and find the thing that says name, and we're going to change that so that it says BTN, and this is clear. So now that it makes sense. Okay. Now nothing will change here. This is still, the text is different. Okay. This is the name that we're going to be manipulating. Okay. So this one says button 2. This is the divide key. We're going to change this so that it says BTN divide. Now, before we go too far on this, make sure that we have changed the keys. Just single click each one. Clear. Divide is that. Multiply. Subtract. Add. So we can see that we've done those. Don't leave any of them not changed, or it's going to be problematic next time we go to do things with them. Okay, so enter. We're going to call that one BTN enter. Big surprise. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in the decimal key, so it will be BTN decimal. Okay, so from here, button naming is fairly straightforward. Most people find this easy. BTN, this one is 0, so BTN 0. Change it to BTN1, BTN2, button 3. Go ahead and change the names of the rest of the buttons after button 3. Now go back through on every single one again and make sure that the name matches what's on the key. Button clear, button slash, which is divide, button multiply, button subtract, button plus or add, button enter, button decimal in my case, button 0, button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4, button 5, button 6, button 7, button 8, button 9. I've finished all of those. Go up here to File, Close Solution. It's going to prompt you, do you want to save? Say Save. And you have completed step 1.